up, guys? My name's Steve, aka Hulk Norris, and today I've got something special for you guys that you guys have been asking for a little bit now, and that is part 3 of how to become a better competitive player and how to become a better player overall. And the footage that this is over top of is some Halo 4 gameplay from the other night where I go 32-1, so definitely check that out. But let's go ahead and jump right on into this, and the very first thing I want to hit is learn how to pick your battles and how to pick your battles wisely. And what I mean by that is, say for example, you got two guys standing in front of you. One guy's looking across the map and you're shooting at that guy, and then his teammate turns at you because he notices that his teammate's getting shot at. And then at that very same time, you notice that your teammate's shooting at the guy that's looking across the map. And so basically what you should do is switch to that guy who's turning to you and posing more of a threat to you. You should pick up that guy before you go back and try to finish off that other guy. But you really shouldn't even have to finish off that other guy since he's already weak and your teammate's firing at him, because more than likely the teammate's going to pick him up and it's just going to be an easy kill for him, and then you might have to battle that other guy for a second, but you're most likely going to be alive. And that leaves both of you on the field for a longer time, which is always an advantage in any competitive gameplay. That doesn't just go for that situation, it goes for many different situations. You always want to pick up the guy who poses more of a threat to you, especially if you're in a situation where you have a teammate helping you out with one of the kills. You always want to focus on your biggest threat to try to keep yourself on the field longer. The next thing that I'm going to hit is learn how to control the speed of the game. That is one of the biggest advantages you can have on your side, is total control of how the game is being played. And what I mean by that is basically how fast-paced or slow-paced or whatever the game's going at. And there's many different ways you can run it. You can run it when you're winning, you can run it when you're losing. And it all depends on how the enemy team's playing. You want to read how they're playing and adjust accordingly. And so basically, if the other enemy team's sitting back and they're trying to just lay down shots across map the whole game, start messing with them. Get some communication going on and get up in their face. That's more than likely they're trying to pick you off from far away because they're not that good up close with their BR, and they're trying to keep that gap in between you. And vice versa. And say, like I said, it goes opposite way too. So say you're losing, the best thing you can do when you're losing is slow down the game. It's not always an advantage, but it's 95% of the time a very heavy thing, and it will help you turn the game around. And what I mean by that is, say the game's going very fast paced, you're in each other's faces the whole time, slow it down, rock back, communicate with your team. Alright guys, let's pull back, let's stick together for a second, and let's try to break their setup and try to get this setup and get map control again. And that is one of the best things you can do competitively edge-wise. Alright guys, so the next thing I'm going to talk about has to do with setups, and I did a lot of talk on setups in part 1 and part 2 of how to become a better competitive player. But basically, this is try different setups. Try holding down different spots of the map, try running different routes, try different stuff, because you never quite know what's going to work against any one specific team. There's many different ways you can run a map, and there is literally no way of telling what's going to work and what's not going to work until you do it. And literally, you can sit there and play the same team over and over and over again on the same map 15, 20, 25 times. And I guarantee you that that game will not be played the same way one time, because one little death, one little setup, one little maneuver can completely sway a game in one team or the other team's favor, and you have no idea even why it happened. It just happens that way. Alright guys, the next thing I'm going to hit goes along the lines of communication, and that is let your teammates know when you are with them. That is one of the biggest and most strongest pieces of key information that you can share with your teammates, simply because it lets your teammates know that they can be a little bit more ballsy. Say for example, you're going into a corridor and your buddy's in front of you, and you give a call out, yo man, I'm with you, let's go in here and let's do this. It lets him know that he has a second BR with him, and it's going to be a lot harder for the enemy team to take him down, so he knows that he's got some support. Not just that, it leads way and opens the door to one of the biggest and most precise, most devastating maneuvers in any competitive Halo, and that is the bait and switch. 99 to 100% time, the bait and switch will work flawlessly. You're running up with your teammate's in front of you, you give the call out, yo man, I'm with you, if you need to, I got your back. You run into a corridor, he's first, he goes in, lays down a couple shots on a guy, gets a couple shots on him, drops down to about half shields, backs out, and then you rotate in and finish off that kill. It is the most devastating maneuver you can bust out team-wise, and it works, like I said, almost 100% of the time flawlessly. Alright guys, and the next thing we're going to hit goes with overall gameplay, and it goes more for matchmaking than it really does for competitive customs and stuff like that, and that is, don't rage quit. And what I mean by that is, no matter what situation you're in, if you have your full team, do not rage quit. Even if the other team is 10 times better than you and you are straight up getting murdered left and right off the spawns, it will help you become so much more of a better player. And to be completely honest, I wish I could play against people who would just shit on me all day, almost every game. Simply because that is one of the best ways you can get better at anything, is play with someone who is better than you. Not just do you pick up stuff that they do, but you learn how to counteract their maneuvers. And no matter what you do, if you are playing people better than you, you will become better. And I see it too often where people just simply, they go -2 and care more about their KD than the actual win and becoming better at the game. And so they rage quit out because they died twice off the initial spawn. You're not going to get anywhere doing that, and you're better off sticking it out and dropping -16 because you're going to get that experience playing with people who are better than you. Alright guys, the next thing has to deal with the last subject, but it more focuses on your basic fundamentals, and it's practice makes perfect. The more you practice something, the better you will become at it. And it goes for everything. It goes for your overall gameplay. It goes for, say you want a better sniper rifle, pick up the sniper and use it over and over and over again, and you will get a better shot. You want to have a steadier battle rifle, you only focus on your battle rifle, and you will use it over and over and over again, and you will have a better shot. And plain and simple, if you don't practice, you're not going to get better at the game. You'll notice that your movements are slightly off. You're going to be missing your skill jumps. You notice you might have been a perfect sniper before, but now that you haven't been practicing, your shot's going to be off. It goes with everything. If you want to become better at something, you got to practice it. If you take it, for example, look at some of the professional players. A lot of these pro players have been playing since the original Halo 1 and Halo 2 and haven't stopped playing since. If you want to become better at this game, you have to practice it. But that's about all the time we have for today, guys. If you enjoyed the video and found the information helpful, definitely let me know by Hulk smashing that like and subscribe button. Also, I still have a whole lot of competitive information that I've not come close to covering, so if you definitely want to see more of these videos, let me know by smashing that like button on this video. Also, guys, the Halo MCC montage will be dropping this Friday, so get excited for that. But till next time, keep it real, keep it classy, and make sure you guys are having fun.